Okay, so we have another problem here, consecutive numbers, which is of type medium. Here the table name is logs, which has two columns, id of type integer and num of type varchar. In SQL, id is the primary key for this table, and id is an auto increment column, which means id starts from 1 and it will go till the last row. That is, if we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 rows, then we have id starting from 1 till 7. Okay, so we need to find all the number that appear at least 3 times consecutively. So we can see here 1 appeared here 3 times consecutively, so 1 is here, but 2 came only twice, so it's not here. So what we can do here, we can simply uh, join 3 tables of logs only on the basis of the id, that is the id from the first column, from the second column, from the second logs 2 table must be equal to the id plus 1 of the logs 1 table. And we can say the same for that the logs 3 table from which the id which will be coming must be equal to the id plus 2 for the logs 1 table. So here, if we are connecting logs 1 table to the logs 3 table, then the id from logs 1 table will be equal to logs 1 plus the difference between the two ids, that is 3 minus 1 is equals to 2. So id plus 1, id 1 plus 2 equals to 3. Okay, so let's write the query here. Select first we will select everything. Okay, from logs L1 join logs L2 on L1.id plus 1 equals to L2.id join logs L3 on L1.id plus 2 equals to L3.id. Now we will simply get all the data from L1 dot star, comma L2 dot star, comma L3 dot star. Okay, so we have all the data from all the tables. Now let us see if the data is connected properly and we are getting the data. Okay, so we have id num, and id num. Let's name it as we will name it later. You can see here this id num belongs to log 1, this id num belongs to log 2, and this id num belongs to log 3. So for id 1 we have num1, for id 2 we have num1, for id 3 we have num1. As you can see, num1, num2 and num3, these 3 columns, the one is same, which means 1 is consecutive. Okay, here 1 1 and 2, these 3 nums are not equal. Here 1 2 and 2, these 3 nums are not equal. Here if we have gotten 2, then we can also say that 2 is consecutive. So with this approach we have got the data. Now we need to simply check if num from logs 1 table, num from log 2 table and num from log 3 table are same. Okay, so we can write having clause here, having logs dot L1 dot num equal to L2 dot num and L1 dot num equals to L3 dot num. We can write here L2 dot num also, because if L1 and L2 are equal, then we will simply need to write only one condition here, that is L1 dot num is equals to L3 dot num or L2 dot num is equal to L3 dot num. Okay, let's see what we are getting now. So we have only single row, because num from logs 1, num from logs 2 and num from logs 3 is equal. So for all the other IDs, num is not equal. Okay, so we will simply do one thing here, write L1 dot num as consecutive nums. Okay, because all the num from all the logs table is same, so we can select any column from the logs table, that is L1, L2 or L3, and simply name it as consecutive nums. Okay, so we have this. And one more thing here, let's say we have four consecutive ones here. Let's say we have instead of two we have one here, then we can say that one repeated for appeared for 4 times, but we need to distinguish them in such a way that the numbers are should not be repeated in the consecutive nums, such that if one came thrice or more than that, then we need to count only, we need to give those numbers only. Okay, we need to find all the numbers, that is we need to find all the distinct numbers here, not the number of time they have appeared. Okay, so with this condition we will get all the required numbers. Okay, so we have this condition unknown column L2.num in having clause. Okay, because of having clause we are getting this problem. We can write here where also, where L1.num is equal to L2.num and L1.num is equal to L3.num. Okay, so let us submit this question. One more thing I would like to mention, that if let's say for example if we are also selecting the column that is L2.num and L3.num, only then we can use the having clause here, otherwise we need to use the where clause. Okay, so the solution is correct.